had no problem raiding Mar-a-Lago. But let's go back even before the Mar-a-Lago raid. Donald Trump's attorneys was in negotiations, in talks with the National Archives. They were well aware of what was happening at Mar-a-Lago. So why the FBI raid? You compare that to what's happened with Joe Biden at his residence, where yes, the FBI was there, but Merrick Garland didn't do his job in making sure that they were running the search and investigation to make sure everything was found and secured. Third question, did Joe Biden's attorneys, do they have security clearance to handle these documents and continue that search? That's a major question as well.
Yeah, well, but going back to Mar-a-Lago, those negotiations had gone on for more than a year between the Department of Justice, the Trump organization, or not the Trump organization, but the president's post-presidential organization and the National Archives and Records Administration. But at some point, President Trump's attorneys told those entities that all of the documents had been handed over when that wasn't the case, which is what prompted the raid. So in terms of the differences here, there do seem to be some, but you believe that there is still a double standard here in terms of how those two things were handled.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. Because here's the other thing. You get leaks to the press, pictures of documents tossed all over the floor. I mean, come on, this is the kind of double standard that has existed. Unfortunately, it appears that the Department of Justice, one of the reasons why House Republicans have formulated the weaponization of the federal government committee that is going to be looking into this and more, as well as the Oversight Committee. But the one thing that's being lost with the documents that have been found at President Biden's Wilmington home, and to not to step off of that, is what about the documents at the Penn Biden Center? Because those documents are not in his home. They were in another office. How long were those documents there? How did then Vice President Joe Biden get those documents when he left office? And again, vice presidents are very different than presidents of the United States simply because the president of the United States is the head of the executive branch. They have the ability, unlike anybody else, to classify and declassify information. So that's what makes this very different. How long were those documents there? What was the situation around the handling at the Penn Biden Center? That's the stuff that I know media is focused on, the residents and the Corvette, but my focus is still on the Penn Biden Center because those are the documents that Joe Biden had in his possession apparently before he became president of the United States.
Bill Clinton, Obama, Bush, every president had accidentally taken documents that were deemed classified, yet they were never raided. Yet they never were treated with a special counsel like Donald Trump was. Now we find out Joe Biden did the exact same thing that every president has done. So there's a problem here with the National Archives and how documents leave the presidency and follow the ex-president. So,
I think
this is the concern.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true with regard to President Obama and President Bush, but clearly we have evidence that it's true with President Trump and Vice President Biden.
Our research shows that every president has accidentally taken